Welcome, survivors, to a deep dive into one of gaming's most beloved zombie apocalypse simulators, Left 4 Dead 2. Released by Valve in November 17, 2009, this sequel to the equally iconic Left 4 Dead redefined cooperative gameplay, horror atmosphere, and fast-paced action. Today we're going to talk about why Left 4 Dead 2 was such a masterpiece for its time, the elements that made it shine, some of its shortcomings, and why it's high time for Valve to finally give us the long-awaited Left 4 Dead 3. Let's begin with the core of what made Left 4 Dead 2 so exceptional, its cooperative gameplay. Valve's ingenious design encouraged players to work together in ways few games have ever done before. Every campaign required tight communication and mutual support. Whether it was helping a teammate being mauled by a hunter, sharing health packs in a desperate moment, or rescuing a friend dangling from a ledge, Left 4 Dead 2's gameplay fostered camaraderie. Lone wolves rarely survived long. This sense of independence created tension and drama in every session, making each victory feel earned. And let's not forget the AI director. This dynamic system adjusted enemy spawns, item locations, and even the pacing of the game based on how players performed. It ensured no two runs felt the same and kept the gameplay consistently engaging. It was a groundbreaking feature that kept the challenge balanced yet unpredictable. Next, we can't talk about Left 4 Dead 2 without celebrating its unforgettable characters and campaigns. Coach, Ellis, Rochelle, and Nick were a diverse and instantly lovable cast. Their banter and personal quirks added personality to the chaos, grounding players in a relatable and humorous way. Valve's storytelling shone through the environmental details of its campaigns, from the swampy depths of Swamp Fever to the neon-lit streets of Dark Carnival. Every level was dripping with atmosphere. You weren't just playing a game, you were surviving a cinematic apocalypse. Each campaign brought unique challenges and memorable set pieces. Who could forget running across a collapsing roller coaster in Dark Carnival, or the desperate finale atop a bridge in the parish? These moments cemented the game's legacy as an unforgettable thrill ride. Left 4 Dead 2 didn't just rest on the laurels of its predecessor. It expanded the formula in meaningful ways. New special effects like the spitter, jockey, charger added layers of complexity to the combat. They required players to rethink strategies and adapt to the new threats. The melee weapons were another welcome addition. Wielding a frying pan or a chainsaw against a horde of zombies wasn't just effective, it was hilariously satisfying. Valve introduced new gameplay mechanics like weather effects in hard rain, where a torrential downpour limited visibility and made navigation more treacherous. The addition of mutations, gameplay modifiers that changed up the rules, offered a fresh experience for veteran players. Whether it was dealing with headshots only or battling waves of tanks, these mutations kept the community coming back for more. The modding community was another crucial element of Left 4 Dead 2's success. Valve's support for user-generated content gave rise to countless custom campaigns, maps, character skins. If you wanted to survive a zombie apocalypse as Shrek, or fight through a replica of Helm's Deep, the modding community had you covered. These mods extended the game's lifespan, close to 15 years later, still quite popular, ensuring that players always had fresh content to explore. Even today, over 15 years later, the modding scene is alive and thriving. The positives of Left 4 Dead 2, the game's design made teamwork essential and deeply rewarding. The dynamic AI director, the system ensured every playthrough felt fresh and unpredictable. The iconic characters and atmosphere, the meaningful additions, the new infected, melee weapons, mutations expanded the gameplay in meaningful ways. And then finally the modding support. Valve's openness to mods kept the game alive far beyond its initial release. But no game is perfect, and Left 4 Dead 2 had its share of flaws. Limited campaigns. While the campaigns were memorable, some players felt the overall number was too few. A handful more would have made a big difference. Repetitive gameplay. Despite the dynamic AI director, the core loop could feel repetitive for some players after extended long periods. The unpolished versus mode. While fun, the competitive versus mode often felt unbalanced, especially when teams were mismatched in skill level. Aging graphics, but that's for most games. Still holds up pretty good. And no new entries. So the main point is, where is Left 4 Dead 3 going? One of the features that made Left 4 Dead 2 so replayable was its variety of game modes. Each offered a distinct way to experience the zombie apocalypse, catering to different playstyles and levels of commitment. Campaign mode, the core mode for Left 4 Dead 2. Played solo or with AI teammates or up to 3 friends, this mode tasked players with surviving a series of interconnected maps filled with zombies, special infected, and dramatic finales. The story was told through environmental cues and dialogue, allowing players to piece together the narrative of survival without lengthy cutscenes. Versus mode. Turn the tables, pitting 2 teams against each other. One team played as the survivors, while the other controlled the special infected. This competitive mode added a layer of strategy, as infected players could coordinate ambushes and disrupt survivor progress. However, balancing issues occasionally plagued the experience, especially for less experienced players. The survival mode, which was my favourite mode. For those who wanted a more intense bite-sized challenge, survival mode was the answer. Players were dropped into a single map and tasked with holding out against endless waves of zombies for as long as possible. This mode emphasised teamwork and resource management, as the longer the players survived, the more chaotic the horde became. Scavenge mode introduced a unique objective-based twist. Survivors needed to collect and deliver fuel cans to keep their escape vehicle running. While the infected team worked to stop them, the focus on short, high-stakes matches made this mode a favourite for quick competitive sessions. Mutations mode. The Mutations mode provided weekly gameplay modifiers that changed the rules in creative and often chaotic ways. From versus realism, a hardcore take on the versus mode, to Gibfest, where players wielding unlimited ammo M60s, Mutations kept the gameplay fresh and exciting. Realism mode. For players seeking a more immersive and challenging experience, Realism mode stripped away many of the game's assistive elements. Players couldn't see the outlines of their teammates, zombies took more precise hits to kill, and death was more unforgiving. This mode tested even the most seasoned players. Realism Versus. Combining the brutal difficulty of Realism mode with the competitive nature of Versus. Realism Versus was a true test of coordination and strategy. Teams had to adapt quickly to the lack of visual aids and an increased danger posed by the zombies and the opposing players. And then there was the modding community. Countless custom modes emerged, further extending the game's lifespan, from the unique campaigns to entirely new ways to play. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Why hasn't Valve made Left 4 Dead 3? The success of Left 4 Dead 2 proves there's a massive audience hungry for more. Advances in technology could take the series to new heights. Imagine larger hordes, smarter AI, and even more intricate campaigns with branching paths. Modern consoles and PCs could handle much larger, more dynamic environments, and online play is more accessible than ever. Moreover, the gaming landscape is ripe for a co-op resurgence. While games like Back 4 Blood attempted to fill the void, they've only highlighted how special Left 4 Dead series was. Valve's unique touch, their ability to innovate, their graphics and polish, it was needed to truly bring the series into the modern era. Left 4 Dead 2 is more than just a game. It's a cultural phenomenon that defined an era of cooperative gaming. Its blend of tight teamwork, dynamic challenges, and unforgettable moments made it a masterpiece that still holds up 15 years later. While it wasn't without its flaws, its strengths far outweighed its shortcomings, cementing its place in gaming history. But the story doesn't have to end there. The demand for Left 4 Dead 3 is undeniable, and the potential for innovation in the new entry is immense. With modern technology and Valve's expertise, a third game could set a new standard for cooperative shooters, just as its predecessor did. So Valve, if you're listening, it's time to give us Left 4 Dead 3. The world is ready to pick up the medkits and face the Horde once more. And for the rest of us, we'll keep the memories of Left 4 Dead 2 alive until that day comes. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay safe out there, survivors.